The station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us for DC News Now at 4. I'm Annalisa Gale. Mark Hall has the evening off. Developing now, the monumental move proposed that would move the Washington Wizards and the Capitals to Alexandria, Virginia, has now been put on hold indefinitely. Democrats in the Virginia Senate have dealt a massive blow to the legislation that would have allowed the relocation to Potomac Yard. They're now denying the bill a hearing and said they were concerned about how that move would be paid for. Some Democrats, meanwhile, also said the move was in direct response to a speech by Governor Glenn Youngkin where he criticized Democrats' willingness to compromise on other legislation. Our Haley Milon is joining us live outside the team's current home, Capital One Arena, with the latest now. Good afternoon, Haley. What's the latest here?
Well, Annalisa, good afternoon. Talk about conflicting opinions and conflicting vantage points. A spokeswoman for Monumental Sports and Entertainment says that Virginia and Virginia only is the future for both the Capitals and the Wizards. But they're facing substantial challenges from two directions, as DC might be able to take legal action if the teams do indeed try to leave the district. Now, the project needs the support of Virginia lawmakers to even go through. And today, the Virginia State Senate Finance Committee pulled the Stadium Authority bill from its agenda. State Senator Louise Lucas saying, as far as she's concerned, the bill is dead. Democrats critiquing the process, saying the plan wasn't vetted by the lawmakers who'd be voting on it. They say the financing is unlike any other project in Virginia's history, and trust with Monumental Sports and Entertainment is a long-term issue, given that the teams would be ending their lease in DC 20 years earlier than anticipated.
That is, if he's willing to renege on the lease for the folks in DC, what's to say he wouldn't do that to us? So no, I'm just not willing to take those risks. Not under my watch.
Now, I mentioned that legal action that could potentially come to fruition with the district. So what's left on the hook for Monumental, they do have a provision in their lease that would permit them to get out of it, opt out 20 years early in 2027, given that the bonds to build the arena, sustain it, are fully paid off. However, they are not fully paid off. They likely will not be fully paid off by 2027. Those bonds are paid for by a surcharge paid inside the arena by event goers. Think food, concessions, tickets, t-shirts, memorabilia, that kind of thing. Now, Bowser hinted this morning that a lump sum might not get it done, that those bonds need to be paid back exactly how the agreement is written. So I'll have more on that coming up at 5, but a complicated process here. Again, Monumental very optimistic that they'll make the move to Virginia.
Yeah, Haley, seems like a process that will be going on for a while there. And Haley, Mayor Bowser also offered $500 million to renovate the team's existing arena in Chinatown. Is that also being considered at all?
Yeah, Annalisa, Monumental is indicating that it's absolutely not on the table for them. They are only focused on Virginia. However, Monica Dixon, the spokeswoman, did indicate that they're very serious about renegotiating a deal here to continue managing Capital One Arena and potentially hold more events. She said Georgetown is kind of waiting to see what happens, to see if their basketball programs will stay here or also make the move across the river, as well as the Mystics. Their future hangs in the scales here. I'll have much more on this kind of complicated deal coming up at 5 o'clock. But for now, in Chinatown, Haley Milon, DC News Now.
All right, Haley, thanks so much. Well, switching gears now, a live look outside at Roslyn. It was a bit foggy out there this morning, and right now it looks still a little bit overcast. Let's turn over to meteorologist Damon Matson for the latest on what's going on this afternoon. I mean, we know we are getting a little bit more rain today.
Right, indeed, Annalisa. It was a messy end to the weekend. Some rainfall moved through, and we were left with some of the moisture in the air from that. That's what led to a lot of the fog and mist that we are still dealing with in some parts parts of the DMV, visibility has been impacted here and there throughout the day. Anytime you see a number less than 5 here, folks, that is that reduced visibility. Makes you want to take a little bit of extra caution on the roadways out there. So this mist and fog is still going to be a concern through the evening rush hour, but very quickly our attention is going to turn to our next storm system that arrives tonight and lasts through your Tuesday morning. There it is, expanding across much of the southeast, now moving north into the Carolinas, back over toward Kentucky and West Virginia. It's already producing a good amount of rain, and for some parts of the DMV, by early tomorrow morning, this will be a wintry mess as well. Now, here in the coming hours this evening, we'll slowly start to see that rainfall move in, becoming steadier as we go through the 8, 9, 10 o'clock hour on into the middle of the night. We'll start to have some of that steady, if not heavy rainfall before the cold air kicks in. And then we see a switch to snow, primarily to the north and west of the D.C. metro. Here we have winter storm warnings in the pink for western Maryland, parts of West Virginia, winter weather advisories in the purple that expand off to the east. And within these warnings and advisories, that's where we are most likely to see accumulating snow as we head into your Tuesday morning. So we'll time out when the worst of this storm system will roll through and who will see the highest impact from this system as well. That's all coming up in your full forecast here in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thank you. Well, new developments this afternoon. The 2 men accused of killing a toddler in Prince George's County will stay behind bars. Both suspects, Johnny Tercios and Israel Fuentes Jr., were ordered to be held without bond, accused in the 2-year-old Jeremy Pucaceres death. Both the suspects there and their public defenders actually asked for them to stay behind bars and waive the bond hearing altogether, citing the seriousness of the charges. The state and the judge agrees to keep them behind bars. Today, new court documents revealing that the suspects told detectives, one of them told detectives he, quote, feels terrible about what happened to the child. 2-year-old Jeremy and his 17-year-old mother were caught in the crossfire Thursday night. Witnesses telling police that they saw both of the suspects in an argument over drugs distribution territory and saw them both pull out guns and shoot at another group of men. Attorneys are holding a press conference shortly. Our Randy Bass will join us live with the latest on what happened there. All right, turning back to the district now, the city is launching what is known as a first safe commercial corridor hub in Chinatown. The corridor hubs will connect residents to multiple city services, including information on where to get help with mental health needs and substance abuse. Outreach teams from several agencies will oversee the hubs and will respond in real time. The goal is to keep those corridors safe.
We not only want people to be safe, but feel safe. And if people are engaging in criminal activity, we know as a community we have sent the clear message that they will be held accountable.
Residents can walk in for services from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. The district will also open 2 hubs on U Street and in the Anacostia neighborhood in the spring. Well, meanwhile, in Maryland, Tacoma Park police are investigating a dangerous car meetup over the weekend. Officials say they responded to that call around 11 o'clock Saturday night where they witnessed large crowds gathering where they performed some burnouts and donuts there. Police say that when officers tried to break up that crowd, several people began banging on the police cars, and they say one person also flashed a handgun. Today, we heard from a neighbor who lives near that intersection.
Between the mufflers and the screeching of the tires, it got my attention inside the house big time. You know, enough so that okay, guys, you know, you're doing a little street racing, let's move on. No, it just kept up for 30 minutes. It just rattled the brain.
No arrests were made Saturday, and right now police have not shared any videos from that meetup. They are currently investigating. All right, meanwhile, in Hagerstown, police have made 3 arrests in a deadly shooting on the west side of the city last month. Stephanie Polino has been charged with the murder of Kevin Michael Shepard at his home in the 1200 block of Marshall Street on January 26. Meanwhile, Gennaro Torres and Eminence Rowe are charged with assault with a gun. The 3 are currently being held at the Washington County Jail. Police believe Shepard was targeted.
So while 3 arrests have been made, this still is an active and ongoing investigation. Detectives are working to put more pieces of evidence together to make sure it's prepared for the prosecution.
A nearby middle school was also placed on lockdown as police first responded to the homicide investigation on the 26th. All right, that was the moment Kansas City Chief fans reacted to their team winning back-to-back championships last night. The Chiefs beating the San Francisco 49ers in a dramatic overtime thriller, 25-22, so close. And it really was an instant classic. San Francisco jumped out to earn an early 10-point lead in the second quarter, but a late field goal from Harrison Butker tied the game at 19 and sent it into overtime. Under the new playoff rules, both teams would have a chance to score. Patrick Mahomes, as he's famously done so many times, drove his team down the field, throwing the game-winning touchdown to Mecole Hardman. After the game, Mahomes and Travis Kelce had this to say.
Yeah, I mean, I hope people remember not only the greatness that we have on the field, but the way that we've done it. I mean, I feel like we enjoy it every single day. We have fun. We play hard. And it's not always pretty, but we just continue to fight to the very end.
Man, it meant everything to even get to this point. But to find a way through adversity yet again for 4 quarters, 5 quarters, man, I couldn't be more proud of the guys. And it's such an honor to be on this team and in this organization, man.
All right, good for them. Our producer Owen definitely celebrating today. No team in the Super Bowl era has ever won 3 championships in a row. Well,